Dr. Meera Patel pushed her dark hair behind her ear as she entered the gleaming headquarters of the Interstellar Relations Bureau. The morning sun reflected off the glass and steel building in downtown Geneva, where humanity's most important diplomatic relationships were maintained. Today was her first day as a senior linguistics specialist, and her stomach fluttered with nervous excitement. The main floor buzzed with activity as diplomats from various Earth nations mingled with extraterrestrial visitors. Meera had studied xenolinguistics for years, but seeing aliens in person still took her breath away. Then she saw him. Ambassador Ziwandar stood near the central atrium, his purple skin catching the light like polished amethyst. He was tall and elegant, wearing a tailored suit that somehow made him look both alien and sophisticated. His silver eyes scanned a holographic display while he conversed with his assistant in melodic Valorian. "That's our liaison to Valoria," whispered Kenji, the junior translator who'd been assigned to show Meera around. "Ambassador Ziwen. Brilliant mind, but incredibly reserved. 3 years here and nobody really knows him." Meera watched as a female colleague approached Zyn with documents. His interaction was polite but distant, maintaining careful physical distance. When the woman laughed at something he said, he merely inclined his head slightly before returning his attention to his work. Throughout the morning, Meera noticed this pattern repeated. Zyn was professional, courteous, but maintained an almost cold formality with everyone, particularly the women in the office. He never lingered in conversations, never engaged in the casual banter that filled the break rooms. At lunch, Meera joined Kenji and 2 other colleagues, Sophia and Ahmed, in the bustling cafeteria. The conversation naturally drifted to office dynamics. "So, what do you think of Ambassador Zyn?" Sophia asked, stirring her coffee with a knowing smile. "He's very professional," Meera said carefully. "Professional is one word for it," Ahmed chuckled. "The man is like a beautiful statue. I've never seen him show interest in anyone, human or otherwise." Sophia leaned in conspiratorially. "I'm convinced Valorians must have different relationship structures. Maybe they're asexual? Or perhaps they only bond with their own species. 3 years and not once has anyone seen him with a partner or even heard him mention one. Maybe their culture doesn't mix business with personal life," Kenji suggested. Meera found herself warming to the speculation. It could be biological. Some species reproduce differently. Or maybe Valorian males simply aren't attracted to human females. I mean, we're completely different species. That would explain why he's so distant, Ahmed agreed. Always proper, never personal. I tried inviting him for drinks once and he declined so formally it felt like being rejected by a computer. What none of them noticed was the purple-skinned figure who had approached the beverage station behind them, close enough to hear every word. Zyn's silver eyes flickered with something unreadable as he listened to Myra's theory about Valorian biology and attraction. He stood there for a long moment, his jaw tightening slightly. Then, instead of walking away, he decided to make his presence known. "Dr. Patel," his deep voice made them all jump. "I need to speak with you about the Valorian linguistic database. My office, in 15 minutes. Meera turned, her face flushing as she met his gaze. His expression was neutral, but something in those silver eyes suggested he'd heard more than she hoped. "Of course, Ambassador," she managed, her voice steadier than she felt. He nodded once and walked away, his posture perfectly composed. "Well, that was terrifying," Sophia whispered. Myra's heart raced. How much had he heard? And why did the thought of facing him alone suddenly make her nervous in a way that had nothing to do with her career? She discovered she was good at this, using her linguistic skills to bridge cultural gaps and facilitate conversations. More than once, she caught Zyn watching her with unmistakable admiration. During a quiet moment on the terrace, away from the crowds, Zyn turned to her. The moonlight reflected off the lake, and the sounds of music drifted from inside. "You've exceeded every expectation tonight," he said. "Is that why you brought me?" To test me? No. His silver eyes held hers. I brought you because I wanted you here with me. Before she could respond, he continued, that conversation I overheard, you were completely wrong about me, Mira. My distance isn't from lack of desire. It's from having too much of it for one particular person. Zyn, she whispered, his name feeling intimate on her lips. Dance with me, he said. They moved onto the terrace's dance floor, where a few other couples swayed to the music. His hand slid around her waist, pulling her closer than was strictly appropriate for a professional relationship. I need to tell you something, Zyn murmured as they danced. From the moment you walked into the bureau, I noticed you. Your intelligence, your passion for language, the way you engage with everyone so openly. It's been torture maintaining professional distance. Mira looked up at him. Why didn't you say something? Because you work with me. Because mixing personal feelings with professional responsibilities could compromise both our positions. Because I thought you saw me as nothing more than an alien diplomat. His thumb traced small circles on her back through the fabric of her gown. But I don't want to pretend anymore. Neither do I, she breathed. He pulled her closer, and they stopped pretending the dance was merely professional. They moved together as the music swelled, lost in each other's eyes. When the song ended, they stood on the terrace, the space between them charged with unspoken desire. Come with me, Zyn said quietly. He led her through the chateau's gardens to a secluded area where bioluminescent flowers from various worlds created a magical glow. The moment they were alone, Zyn cupped her face gently. Last chance to walk away, he said. Because if you stay, everything changes between us. Instead of answering, Mira rose on her toes and kissed him. The effect was electric. Zyn responded immediately, his arms wrapping around her as he deepened the kiss. His lips were softer than she expected, and kissing him felt both alien and achingly familiar. When they finally broke apart, both were breathing heavily. I've wanted this for so long, Zyn said against her lips, his usual control slipping. Do you know how difficult it's been? Seeing you every day, wanting to touch you, to talk to you about more than just work? Then why did you stay so distant? Because I was terrified, he admitted. Terrified that you'd reject me, that I'd make you uncomfortable, that I'd ruin your career before it even started. He kissed her again, more slowly this time. But I'm tired of being afraid. They kissed under the alien stars, hands exploring, hearts racing. Zyn's skin was warm beneath her touch, his presence overwhelming in the best possible way. When his lips traced down her neck, Mira gasped his name. Come home with me, he whispered. Let me show you exactly how wrong your theories about Valorian attraction were. Yes, she breathed. His residence was a beautiful blend of Valorian and human architecture. The moment the door closed behind them, they came together again, the weeks of tension finally breaking. Zyn was gentle but passionate, taking his time to learn what made her sigh, what made her gasp his name. Part 2, The Revelation. Mira knocked on the ambassador's office door exactly 15 minutes later, her palms slightly damp despite the building's climate control. The door slid open silently, revealing a space that was both alien and elegant. Bioluminescent plants from Valoria cast a soft purple glow, and the furniture had the flowing, organic lines characteristic of Valorian design. Dr. Patel, please come in, Zyn said, not looking up from his desk. Close the door. She obeyed, feeling like she was sealing herself into a trap. When he finally raised his silver eyes to meet hers, the intensity in them made her breath catch. The linguistic database, he began, his voice measured, has been extremely useful in our diplomatic efforts. Your predecessor did adequate work, but I reviewed your credentials. Your expertise in xenolinguistic patterns is impressive. Thank you, Ambassador, Mira said, confused. This seemed too straightforward for the tension crackling between them. However, he continued, standing and moving around his desk with fluid grace, I'm curious about something. Do you always make it a habit to theorize about species biology with your colleagues? Particularly regarding reproduction and attraction? Heat flooded Myra's face. Ambassador Ziwayan, I apologize. That conversation was completely inappropriate and unprofessional. It won't happen again. Won't it? He moved closer, and she noticed details she'd missed before, the way his purple skin had subtle iridescent undertones, how his silver eyes held flecks of violet. Tell me, Dr. Patel, why does my personal life interest you so much? Simple scientific curiosity, or something else? I don't understand what you mean, she whispered. Don't you? He was close enough now that she could smell something pleasant and unfamiliar, his natural scent, perhaps. In my experience, people who spend excessive time speculating about others often do so because they're trying to convince themselves of something. Or perhaps they're trying to make someone unavailable in their own minds. Myra's heart hammered. Ambassador, I wasn't trying to. Answer me honestly, he interrupted softly. Why would it matter to you whether Valorians are attracted to humans? Why would you need to create theories about my biology unless you had a personal interest in the answer? She looked up at him, seeing past the formal ambassador to the person beneath. I don't know, she admitted. I think you do. His voice dropped lower. But I'll let it go for now. However, Dr. Patel, let me clarify something. My reserve in the workplace has nothing to do with a lack of attraction to humans. Valorian culture demands strict emotional control in professional settings. We believe that discipline strengthens the mind and honors our commitments. I didn't know that, Mira said softly. No, you made assumptions instead. He stepped back, returning to professional distance. The Interstellar Unity Gala is this Saturday evening. It's a critical event where we'll be negotiating cultural exchange programs with 3 new species. I need someone who understands linguistic nuances and can navigate complex social situations. I'd like you to attend as my cultural liaison. You want me to go to the gala with you? Is that a problem? No, not at all. Good. Formal attire. I'll send you the details. We'll need to coordinate beforehand. He paused. And Dr. Patel? If you're curious about Valorian customs or biology in the future, perhaps ask me directly rather than speculating with the entire office. Saturday evening arrived too quickly. Mira stood in her apartment wearing an elegant sapphire gown, her hair swept up, when the notification came that ZYN had arrived. She took the elevator down, her heart racing with anticipation. He waited beside a sleek vehicle, wearing formal Valorian attire, flowing robes in deep purple that somehow made him look even more striking. When he saw her, something shifted in his silver eyes. Dr. Patel, he said, his voice noticeably warmer. You look beautiful. Thank you. You look very handsome. He offered his arm. Shall we? I have a feeling this evening will be quite memorable. The gala was held at a historic chateau overlooking Lake Geneva. Mira found herself swept into a world of interstellar diplomacy, meeting beings from across the galaxy. ZYN stayed close, his hand occasionally resting on the small of her back, a touch that sent electricity through her despite the professional context. She discovered she was good at this, using her linguistic skills to bridge cultural gaps and facilitate conversations. More than once, she caught ZYN watching her with unmistakable admiration. During a quiet moment on the terrace, away from the crowds, ZYN turned to her. The moonlight reflected off the lake, and the sounds of music drifted from inside. You've exceeded every expectation tonight, he said. Is that why you brought me? To test me? No. His silver eyes held hers.